Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, if you guys haven't seen me before, and this is my YouTube channel all about plants and my plant journey. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made my very own IKEA style greenhouse cabinet. I was given this old glass filing cabinet for mahala. So I decided that I was going to turn it into sort of the IKEA greenhouse cabinet of my dreams. Obviously, I'm not in America, so I don't have IKEA. It's quite different to that, but it's got that kind of look from afar. I decided to just document the whole process so that I could show you guys how one person's trash can become another person's treasure kind of story. It's just, yeah, I just documented it so that you could see what I did and how I made it work for me. I have actually been running this cabinet now for just over a week, or just under 2 weeks, somewhere in between. There are a few changes that I am going to be making, and there are a few things I would have done a little bit differently if I knew what I knew now. But for the amount of money that I spent on it, worked out I'm sure somewhere around 600 Rand, because all I bought was 2 tins of paint, 2 meters of brand ring, some suction hooks. I did have to buy a fan, but that was cheap. It was only 100 Rand, and I'm gonna have to buy a new one, but it's fine. And then just sort of wire cable management little hook things and some marine silicone. So it really only cost me 600 Rand to get this guy up and running. And like I said, there's a few things I need to add to it and a few things that I need to change. I am going to show you guys the video.
Okay, so I've been given this. It's kind of like a filing cabinet, I would assume, and it comes with like sliding glass doors. I want to obviously put some of my bigger, taller plants in this and give it some nice humidity. What I want to do is give it a good clean because it's disgustingly filthy. And then I'm probably going to spray this black because kind of everything else in the plant room is black. I'm going to give it a spray, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pressure wash it because it needs desperately. If you look, it's like really gross inside. And it came with like a wooden bottom, so I'm probably going to have to do something for that as well. I don't know if I can take this apart. I do know that it can come like loose from each other, so I think I might have to do that in order to spray it. Let me see what I can do with cleaning it first. Okay, so it's basically finished being sprayed. I managed to take it apart and spray it, which saved the glass. There's a few areas that you can see I missed, and they happen to be in the front. But putting it back together was a nightmare. You can see I sort of took a bunch of the paint off trying to get the glass back in. My boyfriend did help me because it was really difficult to do by myself. But you can see, I think inside there's a section that's really bad. So not chuffed. Yeah, I need to give it another quick little spray, I think. Just to, because there you can see I did it as well. Give it a really good clean. The doors are there, but I decided to spray paint the base as well, and I ran out of spray paint halfway, so I only bought 1 tin. It's a few days later. I went and got the spray paint. So this is just a wooden board that came with the shelf that I've now sprayed black. We have also put the doors in, so this is how it works. It slides, so it kind of slots into here quite nicely, which is really cool. It like slots in, but then it leaves this overlap, and I don't know if I can show you, but there's quite a bit of space. Sorry, the window's dirty. There's quite a bit of space, so putting these 2 sliding doors was a nightmare. Cam really had to help me. Thankfully, he's much smarter than me, and we decided to, he said, why don't we just unscrew this track, because we couldn't fit it on the track and slide it up into the top. See, it just slides into the 2 pieces over there. One fitted and the other one didn't, but it was just slightly too long. So we ended up having to take this whole thing off and then placing it under, then placing a chair, and then screwing it in, if that makes sense. I went to the shops today, the builders, to try and get everything else I need to finish this. I have a little Shimi who's going to help me. You helping me today, Lou? And there's Sawyer finding something to lie on. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I finally figured out how I'm going to do the cables and bringing the cables in. So I went and I got a bunch of goodies. And the only thing I wasn't able to do today was the glass shelf. Unfortunately, I measured the width twice, and so when I went there to order the glass and have it cut, it was like 300 by 300, and then as I said it out loud to the guy, I clicked, I'm like, oh my word, I've done the same measurement twice, because it needs to be a rectangle, obviously, not a square. And then I also wanted to get shower trimming to put on the inside of the doors so that it creates like a little bit of a seal, just a better seal. I'm not going to 100% seal it, but I couldn't get it. What I am going to do for the cable management, I'm quite chuffed with myself, is I bought this brand ring, which I'll also spray paint black, and I'm actually going to build a frame for the bottom of the cabinet, and I'm going to build it sort of with let's see if I can show you. Move all of this out the way. Are you helping, Lee? Mind your toesies. Mind your toes. Mind your nose. So it's probably about this length. And I'm going to build it like this. So I'll explain it a bit better now once I've popped it together. And that over there. Okay, I'll just that over there. So this will be a frame for the bottom. I've done the front so that that perfectly fits underneath there. But then the back I've done short, about 50 mils. So the top piece of wood that's in there, I'll drill a hole in the corner, and then the cable, the hole will go out here, which means this can just go out straight out from underneath. So it creates this pocket where I can hide cables, but underneath the cabinet, and then the plug point's right behind, so it can literally just come right out the bottom over there, but from underneath that, and plug in. So I'm quite chuffed with that. Then what else I got is some marine silicone. I'm going to seal between the glass and the steel frame at the top and all three sides. I'm probably not going to do it at the bottom because I do want to be able to get that piece of wood out if I need to, but it is what it is. And then I bought these really cool little like cable management oaks, and I'm gonna pull the screw out. I don't think you can see very well, but it's kind of got like this little hook for the cable over there. I'm gonna pull the screw out, and I'm gonna set this into the silicone, just this back end, so that I can actually slide the cable through, but then still pull it out if I need to, for whatever reason, if I need to take the light out and all of that. So I'm gonna use these halfway along the top and then all the way down. So I'm quite chuffed with that. When I saw them, I thought they'd work perfectly. And then I bought just some double-sided tape to see if this will hold the light onto the glass. I don't know if it'll be strong enough, but we'll see. I know glass can be a bit tricky. And then I bought 2 new plugs, which I need to reattach, because these stupid fans come with a stupid plug that is smaller than this by a lot, and I couldn't find like an adapter for this, so I'm just gonna cut this off and put a new one on. I'm gonna go spray paint this now and then screw it all together, and then I'm going to silicone and do all of this. So I will probably do it in a time lapse for you guys, so you can. Okay, sorry, so the camera actually stopped filming for whatever reason, but basically all I did is I siliconed, as you can see, all the way along the glass edges, and not the neatest job. And then I took those little wire grips and sort of attached it all the way, just attached a few so that I can do the cable management. Once everything is nice and dry, then I will give it another good clean, or maybe another spray and a good clean. I'm gonna do the base now, so do the branding and then cut the hole. I managed to get the fan working, so if you look over there, changed the plug properly to a normal plug. Don't just do that if you don't know how to. You should probably get an electrician or somebody who knows how to do it. But I'm basically an electrician, so it's fine. No, I'm joking, but my dad is. So little fan's going. But I'm probably gonna do the bottom thingy now. Move this, then I can then drill the hole here for this guy to go through, as well as the grow light. Okay, so it's the next day and it's super rainy and gloomy outside, but everything has dried and all the silicone, it doesn't smell like silicone anymore. So I have attached the light. The double-sided tape didn't work because this light literally just fits, so I can't actually get it close enough to the glass. As you can see, there's like a space for my hands there. So I wanted to use insulation tape, but I finished it all yesterday. I just did tape for now, but I'll redo it when I get some insulation tape. But at least look, it looks quite nice and neat. And then here is where all the cables are coming through. This is why I built the piece off. So you can see that it's in line over there-ish. And then there's the space for the cable to go through. So I'm going to put the base in now, which I'll need to take that. And then I'll start putting some plants in. Okay, so this is just a little close-up of the setup. I'll turn the grow light off just so you guys can see a bit better. So I'm kind of umming and ahhing about what I'm going to do. So I probably won't cut the piece of glass just yet. I need to fix this guy. So I'm going to repot him and restyle him, get him going up a moss pole properly instead of just that stupid little trellis. Then that guy, he's spraying out quite a bit, but I'm hoping with having the grow light right above him, he will actually start growing. All his leaves will start facing upwards a bit better, and then he'll fit in there a little bit nicer. I actually want to take the pup off of this. You can see the two small little pups at the back. I wanted to split that plant off, but no sooner as I decided that that was ready, because one of the leaves had hardened off, then the main plant pushed out a new leaf. So I'm kind of waiting now for that one to grow and harden off before I can separate them. I just found with anthuriums, when you repot them, when a new leaf is unfurling, then they don't get nice and big, so I'd rather just wait for that. The only other thing that I would like to do, obviously I still need to put a humidifier in here of some sorts. I'll show you at the bottom. Sorry, it's a bit loud with the fan. So the fan is over here, which I can obviously turn on and off at the back or at the wall, whichever. And then I've just done the cables back there. I know it looks really, really bad, and it's kind of because it is. When I sprayed it for the third time, just where I cut the hole off, put the third coat on, it just bubbled horribly like that. So I'm not sure why. I didn't spray it really close or anything like that, but yeah. And then the cable also doesn't look the greatest. Let me turn the light off so you guys can see better. The cable management kind of thing doesn't work as well as I thought it would. These things, like, it slides into it, but these things really just didn't want to stick. They obviously do need the nails in order to work. They just kind of pop out. I don't know if the cable's not thick enough, but I'm getting a new leaf on this guy as well. And I'm really excited because he looks quite, probably shouldn't do this. Ugh. Definitely shouldn't do it on camera. Whoopsie. But he looks like he's got really nice tails. And as you can see, the last leaf is really starting to look quite like a Florida. I'm really impressed with how this turned out, considering the actual cabinet was given to me. I got that for free. I mean, I bought paint, some hooks, cost-effective way of having a nice little grow cabinet, and I'll have to style it up nicely and put some good-looking plants in there, get them growing up nice and tall. And there she is. There's a few things I still need to sort out. I'm going to turn the lights off in the humidifier just so that you can see. So obviously I just want to still sort out all the cables because those are going to drive me slightly nuts. Ugh. But I've been messing around with it so much that I've been pulling cables in and out and in and out and in and out. So I ended up putting these shower hooks. The pack only came with 3, so there's 1, 2, and 3 over there, just my luck. And they only had one of these exact ones in store, and the only other ones they had was these hooks, which wouldn't work because you can't like hang it the way I've hung it this way. It has to like hang down. When I'm at Leroy again, I will try and find another pack of these just to make sure, like if one of these pops off, then yeah. The tape fell off like 2 nights later from when I put that tape up, and thank God I was home and I heard it. Yeah, so the tape had fallen down on this side, and thankfully the tape on this side hadn't fallen, so it was hanging sort of this way. I heard it and I came running in, and then I took it down and I was like, no, I'm not putting this back up until I have the right thing. So I'm going to leave it running tonight for as long as I can. The fan is a bit of a problem. The fan is actually too powerful. I didn't check how powerful the fan was. I still haven't. I haven't gone and looked at the box. Let's just open this. Okay, well look, I'll show you just how powerful the fan is. If I turn it on, it literally takes a few seconds to suck all of the humidity out. And if you can see, it literally sucks the humidity. I'll run the fan probably for an hour or 2 a day, maybe an hour in the morning and an hour at night, just to get some airflow going, and so that there's not like too stagnant air sitting in there. In the meantime, I'll actually start looking for a smaller, more waterproof fan, because I don't think that fan's waterproof either. But it was only 100 Rand, so if I end up blowing the motor or something, I'm really not too stressed for now. Yeah, then I have a few things in here, and I think they're all going to be super happy. I didn't manage to. I took the black humidifier to my dad and he fixed it because he's literally the best. It was something to do with the fan and wada. So he fixed that for me. We opened it up together and I just watched him fix it. And then I just still need to get batteries for that guy. And then I'll be able to see what humidity it is. But I'm really chuffed. They look so beautiful when everything's on. As you can see, like the fan like sucks out the humidity and not even less than 2 minutes. Please excuse the dying Andersoni eye over there. Don't you think it looks really pretty? In a full yellow like that, the whole thing's dying. It looks really pretty, but excuse that, sorry. Is the shower seal. I just couldn't get. I literally have been to 3 or 4 places and I don't know why, but they're out of stock for the seals. And at the moment it doesn't even seem that necessary because I have such a hectic humidifier in there. It's on the lowest setting it can possibly be, and it still takes a few minutes to sort of make the whole thing humid. I can't exactly tell what humidity it is in there because obviously the battery's dead, but I honestly think it probably gets up to 90% in 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so my battery died, so I'm really quickly just trying to finish off this video. I'm not going to turn everything off. The 2 panels on either side just slightly open, just so that there's some form of airflow at the moment while there isn't the fan on. Plus, there's no plants in there that do need excessively high humidity for now. I mean, the dragon scales in there and there's an anthurium in there, but other than that, and even those ones don't really need much more than probably 60%. This is, at the end of the day, it's going to be my anthurium terrarium cabinet, or whatever you call these things. Yeah, plant cabinet. I'm testing it out on all of my other plants and what have you before I start buying myself some favorite anthuriums. I was going to get myself the Regal. I had decided, I was like, no, I'm just doing it, especially now that I've got this. And then I watched some videos on the Regal, and I didn't mean to, it just kind of came up. It just said like they can be really, really, really tricky, which I kind of knew, but I only own 1 anthurium at the moment, so I just don't want to break my own heart by killing my Regal. So I think I'm going to get 2 or 3 other anthuriums that I really wanted first, that are a little bit harder to look after. Then obviously the Clarinervium is really easy, that's what people say. So I think I'm going to kind of get a few other ones and then move on to the Regal when I feel like I kind of know a bit more about looking after multiple types of anthuriums. I was going to put a shelf in it, but I've decided I'm not going to. I think I'm going to get a few little plant stands to put in there so some of the plants can get a little bit higher before they've grown higher. I quite like the idea of some of the plants being able to get really big in there. I think that's kind of the point. So I think I'm just going to do away with the shelf for now. I'm really chuffed with how it came out. It looks really awesome, and if nothing else, it's just beautiful. The light in real life isn't so pink, which is kind of like annoying that it's coming off so pink on camera. I'll probably just show you the updates of maybe the seal and the fan, you know, in another video where I'm maybe talking about something else, and I'll just update you guys on what's going on. Okay, so the first thing that I am definitely going to have to change is that the base of this cabinet is wood. Obviously it was made for paper and all of that sort of stuff, so like water and humidity was never going to be an issue in there because otherwise all your files and your paperwork's going to get damaged. So my humidifier is a little bit too big for in here. It's a little bit too vuss, and it actually pulls a lot of water on the bottom. I either need to maybe put a piece of PVC foam board and cut to size just to replace the wood, or what I need to do is, and this is probably what I'm going to do, is going to get a black piece of plastic, you know, those big like sheets that you lie down for painting, but black, and I'm actually just going to wrap that around the wood and then staple it around the back. So I'm just basically going to like waterproof the wood a little bit. I mean, it's not the best plan, but it's also not the worst plan, and it's definitely, I'm not really worried about the wood actually getting too damaged, to be 100% honest, but also don't really want it swelling in there so that when I do want to change it, it's a big mission. And I also don't want to encourage any sort of mold to grow, so I feel like just covering it up with that will make a big difference. Then yeah, the other thing I need to do still is get a new humidifier for in here. I just need a little one that I can run constantly, and it probably isn't going to pull the water like this one does. And then I also need to get not so strong a fan. Really powerful for 100 Rand, and for how small it is, like it's not super small, but it is pretty small. It's basically just sucking all the humidity out. So that I need to find. I don't know where I'm going to find one. I've been looking and it's a bit of a mission, especially to find one that's waterproof. I think that's all that I really want to, the only changes I really want to make to this. I was going to put the shower seal in here, but I don't think it's really necessary. It'll depend on what humidifier I end up with,
But with this humidifier, it just puts out so much humidity, it's really not necessary. But we'll see. I quite like the idea of the fan potentially pushing new air in and out, and if there's a humidifier the whole day. At the moment there's no plants in here that need like an excessive high humidity, but I will be aiming to buy more plants like that. But I have a little bit of time to play with it and get it right until then. So yeah, those are the few changes that I would make, and at the end of the day I'm really chuffed with how it turned out. Really excited to see how the plants grow in it. I've already had some really good growth in there since I put all the plants in a week ago, so I'm really chuffed and really excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I was able to give you a few ideas on how you could make your own sort of DIY cabinet. If you do have any tips or ways that you would probably make this better or improve this, or of like some tips and tricks to keeping plants happier in this sort of an environment, then please do leave that in the comments below. I am all about learning from others and sharing our experiences so we can all sort of learn together. That's it for today. If you did enjoy this video, then please do consider hitting that like button, and if you would like to go on some more planty missions with me, then please do subscribe. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.